mature to film this video. If you guys don't already know me, hi, my name is Christina. Whenever I was 21, I was sentenced to 3 years prison in the state of Florida. So everything that I'm going to be talking about today is from my own personal opinion. Before we get into this video though, I do want to let you guys know that this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody, everywhere, in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance on hearing some things that I have to say, and if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. So before we get into today's video, which is going to be all the many ways that women use their water bottles in the women's prison. Yes, I'm gonna be getting into it. And you know what? I asked some of y'all over on Instagram what y'all thought. Some of y'all are nasty. Ooh, some of y'all are nasty. And I know, I remember which one of y'all it is too. All of y'all, I remember. And the ones of y'all that are right, I remember that too. But before we get into all the ways, I do want to let you guys know that I have a second channel, which is Casually Christina. I do things more casual over there. We hang out, do all that kind of fun stuff, reviews, try on hauls, daily life, what I eat in a day, that type of thing. I also have a podcast, which there will be a new podcast coming out by the end of this week. It's always linked down in the description box, as well as my Patreon. This is my Patreon right here. It is linked in the description box as well. My Patreon is for 18 and up because of the nature of the conversations and the story times that we do over there. But if you're interested in checking me out on those other platforms, as well as Instagram, can't forget Instagram, then please do. All right. So let's get into this. As I said in the beginning, whenever I was 21, I did get sentenced to 3 years in prison. So I saw some things that these eyes will never, ever forget. Let's start off with the first way that women use their water bottles in prison. Obviously, does it even need to be said, women use their water bottles in prison to drink water. And as a matter of fact, though, I think this is probably the least way that an actual water bottle is used in prison. To actually see women walking around just drinking straight up water out of their water bottle is less common than to see it in some of these many other ways that I'm going to be telling you guys about today. As I've said in previous videos, but just in case you did not catch those, they do sell water bottles on the canteen there. What does that mean? That means if you go to prison and somebody's not putting money on your books, meaning sending money to the prison or to JPay or however you want to word it for you, you will not get a water bottle unless somebody gives you one. The prison does not hand out water bottles. You just don't get water like that. So the thing about the water bottles in prison is you will see them 99% of the time, and I assure you 99% of the time, like this with no label on it, because they reuse them. Water bottles are expensive on the canteen, which is, the canteen is a store, and they reuse them. Honestly, over time, they end up getting really dingy and weird and wonky looking, and people reuse them sometimes until there's brown around the rim, because this is what you have to carry your water with. If you're working on the grounds, meaning you're standing outside for 8 to 10 hours a day with a rake in the Florida heat in the sun, the only way to have water is if you have a water bottle. There's no staff members walking around handing out water to you because you're raking or digging ditches in the 100-degree weather. It don't work like that. You would think it does, but it doesn't. Yes, people pass out from heat strokes all the time, especially in Florida. Okay, so that's the first way. That's a little rundown. Let's move on to the second way that women use their water bottles in prison. The second way that women use their water bottles in prison is to make this little concoction right here. You see it? It's a blue drink. Let me show you guys how we do this. So as you see here, we basically just take like an empty water bottle and take some Jolly Ranchers. You can take whatever flavor you want. You can mix a bunch of different flavors together, just depending on what you want and what you got. And we just basically would open up the Sprites, put them in the water bottle, pour them in there, and then just drop the Jolly Ranchers down into the water bottle. Now, this is something that kind of has to sit. It takes time because the Sprites are not
like hot. If it's been in your locker, it's going to be room temperature, but it takes time, but it makes a yummy drink and something different.
Guys, see, after the Jolly Ranchers melt in the Sprite or whatever drink that you choose to make in here, it makes like a tasty drink, like maybe like a blue Fanta or something like that. And you can put different color Jolly Ranchers in there. Sometimes I see women put tons of Jolly Ranchers in there, so it makes it like really dark and delicious, and it's kind of like a treat. This is typically something that women aren't going to drink this every single day unless you've got somebody putting like the max amount of money on your books every single week and you just got money to blow, baby. But I want to say 99% of women, they don't have it like that. So this is like a treat and it's pretty good. So yeah, that's the second way that women use water bottles in prison. Let's move on to the third way. The third way that women use water bottles in prison is the infamous, the way that I've told you guys about before, chocolate milk. Y'all thought it was something else, didn't you? Didn't you? Yes, this is chocolate milk. Let me show you guys how we make this in prison. Very easy.
So we would take these cups that we would get in prison. You see this blue cup? We would actually get these white ones you could buy off of the canteen and heat the water up in the microwave. Now, the hot water is actually going to warp the bottle, but I'll get to that later. You'll see a lot of warped water bottles in prison. Put a little bit of hot water in there at first, and then you can actually buy little cocoa powder or hot chocolate individual packets like this off of the canteen in prison. And then we would just pour it into the water bottle like this. So there's just a little bit of hot water in there. That way it melts the chocolate. Then put the lid on, shake it up real quick. And then you got to kind of burp it because of the hot water. And then you're going to add your cool water to it and make your chocolate milk just like this.
Now, typically women do more with this than just the cocoa powder and the water. They'll take creamer packets that you can buy off of the canteen and put it in there too and make it taste more milky. I didn't have any creamer like that. And also put sugar in there sometimes too. You can make it taste really good. It will taste like a yoo-hoo. Surprisingly, you may think, ew, that in water? Like, no, it actually does taste good. And especially when you've been in prison for so long and your taste palette changes. You have to remember, when you're in prison, the food that you're getting is very, very bland. So anything that's you can make really sweet or really salty is gonna taste 10 times better than it would if you drank it or ate it like that out here on the street. So this is the chocolate milk that I've been telling you guys about. So let's move on to the fourth way that women use their water bottles in prison. Now this is the iced coffee. This cocoa powder that I have actually has the marshmallows in it, so it looks, a little wonky. Very rarely are you gonna get the cocoa powder that has the marshmallows in it in prison, but you can still buy cocoa powder on the canteen. Let me show y'all how we make it in prison.
So in prison, you can buy instant coffee like this, not in individual packets like this, but this is all I had. You actually buy it in like a plastic jar thingy and you scoop it out with a plastic spoon. That's how it rolls in there. And then you just add your instant coffee to your water bottle, maybe some hot cocoa to make it more like a latte. Then you can add anything else you want to it, sugar, whatever. And then you're going to have you an iced coffee just like this.
Now, once again, like I was saying, typically, us women will put like creamer in it, and it's the non-dairy little creamer packets, kind of like the ones you get in like a hotel room, just the creamer packets. I'll try to find one and pop it up here. And this is iced coffee. And believe it or not, with enough sweetener and enough creamer, and it does taste like an iced coffee. It does taste like maybe like a latte or something, a prison latte. Okay, this isn't Starbucks. So, and this is just how we did it. It's pretty good. And like I said, these water bottles will be looking really dingy. And you will see a lot of water bottles that are all warped because women will take the hot water, just like I did in the video, from the cup, warm it up in the microwave, pour it in the water bottle so they can get their stuff melted, and the water bottles will be warped, but they'll keep using them because that's all they got. You've got to improvise in there, and you got to work with what you got. The next way that I'm going to show y'all that women use water bottles while they're in prison is actually for a heating pad, okay? You have to understand, when you're having menstrual cramps or any kind of cramps in there, but I'm going to really go with menstrual cramps because we're talking about a women's prison, and most of the women in there are having their period. And something that you may not know, a lot of the times women in the women's prison, their period all syncs together strangely enough. and women end up on their cycle around the same time every month. It's something about it. Some of y'all may know what I'm talking about, but you'll have the majority of the dorm all have their period at the same time. Baby, when I tell you that's a rough week in there, baby, when I tell you, whew, when you're in a room with 100 different women and 65 of y'all are all on your period at the same time, all different walks of life, all different experiences, all different ages, all different sentences, all different past. Baby, it can be the wild, wild west up in there, let me tell you. But this right here is a lifesaver. There's other situations where people may need, you know, a heating pad, so to say, different, you know, illnesses and stuff like that. But I would say this is most commonly used for period cramps, endometriosis, and stuff like that. Also, while you're in there, like I've told you guys before, the only kind of pain meds you're going to get is ibuprofen. And people, women that have endometriosis or very severe stomach cramps like I had while I was in prison, this is a lifesaver. You would be surprised. So what you do is you take the water, just like I showed you in the previous videos, you heat it up. And typically, like, you know, you'll do this for your friend. Like if my friend, I see she's over there doubled over in pain. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, the diet and the dehydration of being in prison, it affects your body in so many ways. So if I'm in pain or my good friend is in pain, I'll go fix them up a nice little water bottle to use as a heating pad and bring it to them to their bed. So at nighttime they can lay down, put it on their tummy, try to get a little bit of relief for what the ibuprofen ain't touching. And we all know the ibuprofen ain't touching much. So the next way that we're gonna talk about that women use their water bottles while they're in prison is, you know what this is, right? It's warm. It's warm. Yeah. Well, psych. This right here is broth, okay? So when you're sick and you can't get mama's homemade chicken noodle soup or anything like that, and maybe your stomach can't take the noodles from the actual Roman noodles, top ramen, whatever you guys want to call them, you make your friends some broth. And this is how we do it in there. And let me show you. All you guys do is take a water bottle like this, get the hot water out of the microwave, and pour it into your bottle and put your seasoning pack from your Roman noodles in there. Shake it up. You gotta burp the bottle a little bit, let it cool, and then you have your broth. So while you're laying down with your heating pad on one part of your stomach and your water bottle for your broth in the other, and just take little sips. And sometimes you can eat saltine crackers and stuff with this too, but this is basically the best you're gonna get while you're in there. Okay, this is your mama's homemade chicken broth right here in a bottle. So yep. The next way that we're going to talk about that women use water bottles in prison, and this is the way that I cannot actually show you guys because I don't want to put that out there. I have a lot of babies that watch me and I just don't think it would be responsible for me, is to make hooch in. Now, why do women make hooch in the, now you can make hooch in a bunch of different things. You can make hooch in a trash bag, you can make hooch in a bunch of different stuff, but you can also use these bottles. Now, the thing about this is when you make the hooch, you have to do it with anything, but especially a water bottle because that's what we're talking about. You have to burp it. So when you're putting your fruits and your whatever you're putting in there, I don't want to say all the ingredients, into your bottle to make hooch. If you don't know what hooch is, it's like prison wine or alcohol. You can get it real strong and it's real nasty, but it will get you drunk, okay? And that's the whole purpose of making it in there. It's not to toast for New Year's Eve. It's to get toasted, right? That's what it's for. But you have to burp it every so often so it doesn't explode, because it gets really, the pressure in it from all the fermentation that's going on in the bottle, and that has happened. And let me tell you something, honey, when your hooch bottle or bag or whatever you have explodes, you're going down, sister, because the smell is so stank. The whole entire room is going to be stanky. It don't matter what you try to use to clean it up. It doesn't matter. You are going to get caught. But yep, right on in the water bottle. And the last way that we are going to talk about that women use water bottles while we're in prison is the infamous, you got it, douche. Women do use these. You guys want to know if I did? No, I did not use this, but women do use this. Don't ask me why. Everybody has their personal reasons why they groom themselves in their own way. I've never asked anybody, hey, excuse me, ma'am, why are you doing that? I just know that they do. I've seen them do it. Anytime you see a lady sneak into the shower with her water bottle and you hear this noise, you know what that means. She's cleaning herself from the inside out for whatever reason, okay? So I know that a lot of you guys thought over on Instagram that they use this for something else in the shower, and I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't think so. I mean, this is a I mean, I'm trying to keep it PG here, friends, but you know what I mean? That's kind of, but I don't know. I don't know about that for sure. Maybe y'all know. Some of y'all done told me some crazy stories in the comment section, but I know for sure that some women use this as a douche, and honestly, the way it shoots out is kind of like a bidet. I mean, it just goes right up, and it's so funny because you'll see, I still have this image in my mind of an older lady. I want to say she was probably about 60, 65, and she'd have her little robe on, and she drug her feet when she walked, and she wore her shower slide, so it sounded like this when she walked. Right? And so she's an older lady. She gets up off her bed. She puts her little white robe on because we had white outfits that we had to wear at nighttime. And by the way, when I say robe, do not get this like comfortable robe thing in your mind. That's not what it's like. It's a very thin sheet. It's ridiculous. But we're supposed to wear them at nighttime when we're in our PJs, prison PJ. Don't think it's like a, okay, it's prison outfit. So she would drag it and she'll go into the shower and she'd go right up in the shower and take her warm water bottle with her. And honey, we knew what she was doing. Go on in there, baby. And then she came out and she'd fill that water bottle up and take a big sip. Just kidding. I am too immature. Listen, she didn't drink out the water bottle. She gave it to her next door neighbor and she drank out the water bottle. All right, my loves, let me know what you guys thought about this video. I have some more fun things that I want to show you guys that we did in prison coming up. Please don't forget to like this video. It's a free way that you can help your girl out. And until next time, I love you guys so very much. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust.